Yo, what up, street gods? There, Kim are the thought. Why you must buy Ricoh GR3. So, over the last decade plus, I've essentially photographed with all the cameras out there, and I mean, some things I've learned. So first and foremost, the bigger the camera, the worse it is. So, you know, it doesn't matter how much megapixels, how good the image quality, the bokeh, sharpness, resolution, whatever. The bigger the camera is, it's kind of like this issue with scaling is that, for example, let's say your camera is twice as big. You're not going to use it twice as less, you're going to use it 20 times less. Or the issue with weight is having a camera that's twice as heavy is going to be 200 times more cumbersome for you. So scaling effects apply here. And the more I use the Ricoh GR3, the more I like it actually. The reason why GR3 was such a huge innovation is somehow they're able to improve the camera while also making it smaller. So the GR3 is like substantially smaller than the GR2 and has image stabilization. The high ISO capabilities to me seem at least like 8 times as good. And also the shooting video on it is actually quite fun too. So I've personally been having a lot of fun shooting high contrast black and white 1080p 24 fps photographing my son Seneca, and even when I photographed his birth, I used everything on the Ricoh GR3. The high, I just shot in P mode, you know, it was like kind of almost pitch dark in the laboring rooms, and yet I was still able to get all the photos. And you know, I in the past was really quite you know, I missed the flash on the GR2 a lot, but now that, you know, I got a baby, I don't always want to be flashing in the face, especially while I was sleeping. Having high ISO and just increasing the exposure compensation has been best. And even when I was photographing Cindy while she was laboring, giving birth, and postpartum, shooting the GR3 was awesome. And you know, GR3 right now is about $900. I mean, still a good chunk of change, but the way I see it is, it's still $100 cheaper than an iPhone Pro, and it probably takes 10 times as better images than the iPhone Pro. And in terms of size and footprint, it might only be like twice as big as the iPhone Pro, perhaps even smaller. And actually the ergonomics to me feel at least 10 times better because it has a physical shutter. You could adjust the exposure compensation super fast, which is probably the most important thing in photography, I think. I think exposure compensation is highly underrated, and exposure compensation on the iPhone is far more difficult. And so I would say, you know, save your money, don't buy the newest iPhone, just delay as long as humanly possible or whatever it may be. Hold on to your old iPhones, or if you want a new phone, just get the iPhone SE or, you know, the iPhone mini, whatever it is. I just been shooting all my pictures small JPEG, high contrast monochrome mode, and the photos look great out of camera. I don't even need to post-process them at all, which improves my workflow. It speeds up my workflow, simplifies it, which means that I could better keep in sync with the amount of shooting that I'm doing, which is like 1,000 pictures a day, and also being able to, you know, edit down the photos like them. I've been using the just iPhotos essentially for everything. I don't really use Lightroom anymore, and that seems to sped things up quite a bit. And yeah, like Ricoh GR3 is superior to, you know, any like M camera, whether it be the 10R, like a Q monochrome, Q2 monochrome, blah blah, even all the digital medium formats. I still think the GR3 is the champ. And yeah, I think, you know, kind of moving forward in photography things, and this is just like a note to, you know, all product developers and makers. Like, and I think even the thing that my critique of the iPhone Pro Max is that it's good that you know, the image quality, of course, the Max is better, but by making the phone bigger seems like kind of a unwise thing to do. So, you know, the more we could strive to optimize things for size, to make it smaller, more compact, more premium. In some ways, that's why the Tesla Model Y is probably superior than the Model X, because it's smaller and it's still, I'm sure, quite as premium. Probably also why the Tesla Model 3 is probably better than the Model S, because it's smaller, more compact. Even with Priuses, the smaller the Prii, the better. Same thing with laptops, phones, tablets, everything in between. So yeah, like when in doubt, choose smaller, and I recommend you to buy our GR3. You won't regret it.